Okay, people. So we're doing something a little bit different today on Echo Chamber because I've decided to put on my Maury hat. I've brought in siblings Rihanna and Nick Anger to try and clear some shit up, right? Because yeah, these two kids don't get on. Like Rihanna, what's the beef you have with your brother?
Well, my mom babies him and thinks that he's perfect, even though he went to jail and obviously is not perfect. So, he gets everything easy.
I was framed, first of all. So
Right. That's what he says. That's what he claims.
I was
That's
wrong.
what every guilty man says.
I didn't do it. Okay.
Rihanna, you have been studying law and you've kind of looked into the case. So do you not believe your brother, really?
I mean, my answer would be different if he was listening versus if he was not.
Oh, I see. I see. And how's this make you feel, Nick?
Par for the course. She's always been like this. I'm not surprised at all.
It's because he's an asshole. That's why.
But your mother seems to believe him.
Yeah, because she believes everything he does, and he knows it too. Like, he can't even deny it. She'll give him everything he wants. She depleted my savings fund to help him out.
Maybe she just has better instincts and better, ability to trust than you do. Maybe you're
Or maybe you're just incapable of doing anything by yourself, so she has to help you.
Having take it away.
I mean, it's getting heated, people, and you will get to the answers of this after the break. No, people, I'm joined by the extremely talented Maitlyn Pezzo.
Yes. Hi. Very good.
And you might recognize him. It's Artur De Larroche. Arthur, thank you very much for stopping by. Maitlyn, thank you for the first appearance on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And they have both stopped by to talk about their new film, All Who Loved Her. I spoke to Christian the other week about the film. And it was a really good conversation. It was interesting. He said, he talked about the casting process, and he was in a pinch, so he had to settle on YouTube. But it managed to work out.
Right.
So, yeah, great.
Yeah, sounds right. Sounds correct.
Like, how did you find, because it sounds like it was a different sort of film, very in the moment and all of that. How did you, because you both, worked on TV, both done film, so you've been in the industry, you've done numerous projects. So how was this project? And was it that much different from stuff you've done in the past?
Arthur, you want to go? You want me to go?
I mean, I think your answer is going to be more interesting than mine, so you go for it.
Okay. Well, I found it just on a casting website, like a lot of the other ones that I've submitted myself for. But I would say the main difference is that because the crew was so small, it created like such an intimate set, and we were able to really work with each other and bounce ideas off of each other. And Christian was really open to all of our ideas, and he really wanted us to make the characters our own, and he was open to any line changes or like ways that we thought we would say it. And he really just worked with us to get in depth with the character, so we had so much more time because it was a smaller crew and we weren't on like the hustle and bustle of a regular huge $1 million movie set. So that's nice.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much movies like what Christian was, I'm more comfortable with those just because I was in the DIY sector for a really long time, so I felt really comfortable doing that kind of thing. The thing that surprised me about Christian was just how much practice we did. Because normally I'm just going in, yeah, dude. Like normally, a lot of the projects, because they might be of a smaller nature, but they're also a little bit more we don't have a permit for this, we can't do this, we can't do that. So, you know, there's
Mm.
I'm not used to being able to go that deep with a character, or to, you know, normally you just show up and you got to say those lines before the cops show up, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I was kind of used to for the most part for a lot of things. That's what I thought we were going to do with this, but no, man, Christian really went above and beyond. We did weeks of
Yeah.
practice, training, you know, like it was rehearsals. It was awesome. It was really cool.
Yeah. No, we spent a lot of time in like his apartment or like going to get food, but like just practicing on this black leather couch that he had just over and over and over again. It was great. It was actually really nice, so that when we did film, it was like, oh yeah, we got this. It was very easy, very natural.
And the cool thing about Christian too is that, like, if I had a question about the character, or if I had a protestation about the character, if I could, you know, you can kind of like offensively ask Christian just about anything, and he'll just let that roll off his back. You know, like I just be like, why the fuck would I ever do this, dude? And he was just like, he would convince me, and I can't believe it. You know, like I would be so opposed to something, and then, you know, it was great working with the guy.
Nice. And I guess for you, coming off like Clairvoyant and
Remy in Arletta, but you don't know about that one yet. But yeah, you're right.
yeah, like I knew it's double R, and I was like, it's Rosie and Sutton, right? But coming off those, like coming into something like this, do you think it was easier than coming off like one of the bigger productions?
I have a bunch of stuff to say. First of all, I haven't given Christian the proper credit. He's the one that inspired me to do Clairvoyant in the beginning at all.
Oh,
you know,
damn.
Seeing Christian go out and shoot his shot like this and do things like this was the thing that made me go, God damn it. I mean, this, like, he was inspiring. It was actually, everybody always talks about making a movie, and then Christian just went and had the balls to do it. So, you know, that was really nice. First of all, just putting that out there. And we did this before Clairvoyant. We did this before Remy Arletta. Like, truly, Christian was the progenitor of those things in a way by inspiring me. You know, and then also, like, dude, when you're acting, just acting, like, come on. It's awesome, you know? I was just acting. It's so easy compared to what I got myself into afterwards. So, you know, like, being an actor is awesome at any level. It's also, like, hard and shit, but, like, it's hard in an expected way. You know, you're doing your actual job description when it's hard being an actor in those ways. You're not also dealing with the fact that, like, I don't know, there's somebody staying at the motel next door who's like an abusive alcoholic is like bothered by the noise that you're making at noon because he's asleep. You know, like it's a totally different fucking vibe. You know, and that's the thing, like Christian, man. Yeah, I'm monopolizing this a little bit, so I'm gonna stop in a second. But it was just really friggin' nice to just be able to act and just worry about acting. And then when I wasn't acting, I napped. I napped on set, Kevin. I went to sleep, and so did Maitlyn.
I
And
did
it was
too.
awesome.
I would fall asleep between takes.
Like,
I mean,
how the hell you do that? Like, I don't day nap. I do 4 hours at night, and that's it. There's no napping. There's none of that crazy.
No, that's see, I do about 12 hours at night and then approximately 3 hours in the day as well. I'm just always asleep. No,
But
not
you're
really.
always
I probably sleep like 6 hours at night, but I will take a nap. I love a good nap.
See, dude, I hate a good nap, and I'm the kind of person that naps for 30 minutes, and then my heart starts beating really fast because my body doesn't know why I'm asleep right now.
Maybe you should get that checked out then, buddy.
Like,
maybe there's something wrong with you.
but you
that's an
inspired me
issue.
to nap as well. Like, you taught me to relax a little bit on set, which was nice because I was just running around.
It's true. He was always trying to get me to like run our lines, and I was like, no, go away.
No, straight up. I'd be like, shouldn't we go over this? And you were like, we had
no,
4 weeks, dude.
We're fine.
So you might have had it, but he might not have had it. He's panicking.
He had it though.
Like,
But that's the thing. He would panic, and he had it. He always produced a good scene. He always was great. Arthur, cover your ears because I don't usually praise him, but he was always doing really good. He always brought it. Like, this guy's like freaking crying in all the scenes, and I'm like, oh man, now I gotta step up to Arthur's level. But then still, he was like, we gotta do it again. I was like, why? It was perfect.
That is true. Christian, every now and then, he would just like try to get some safeties, and after like just cutting our wrists in the first fucking take when Christian was almost not ready. Then he'd like try to get a safety for camera or something. And I would phone it in. I would just be like, nah, man, I just used it all up. I don't know. I feel bad. I really should have been more professional. Like, I feel bad for Christian there because he would really, like he'd be like, just like, okay, we're going in on a practice. And then like I would bawl and then he'd be like, okay, can you do that again? And I'd be like,
No.
no, I don't think I can. So, no, man. No, dude, Maitlyn, I mean, it was really fucking awesome working with you. And I really was lucky because I was super nervous. You're right. Like, I've always been behind the camera. So when Christian made the mistake of casting me, I was really excited. And I was lucky to have you because, you're you. If I had anybody else, I don't know if it would have been any good for me. Like, I wouldn't have been comfortable to cry. There were some actors where, like, depends on who you get stuck with, a lot of the time. You have to bring it anyway. And I think I was so green, so amateurish at the time that, like, if it wasn't Maitlyn, I would have sucked.
Well, first of all, don't give me that much credit. You did it all by yourself. But it was funny, like, you could tell once Arthur and I got closer that he had a harder time being mean to Rianne because he liked me and liked her at certain times. That there were times that there were like scenes in the movie where like the mom would like kind of steal from Rianne to help Nick, and Arthur didn't like doing the scene because he was like, well, that's wrong. Rianne shouldn't get her money stolen. And so you could tell that he was just like, he was getting all defensive and like big brothering. And I was like, no, you don't like me in the scene. You have to be meaner. And he was like, but no.
No, it was really weird because like I did have to. Some of these lines are vitriolic, like they're venomous, and like I don't know, bro. Like Nick's cool, but he took Rianne for granted a little bit in there somewhere.
Yeah, I got bullied a lot.
It was tough. It was tough, dude. It was, I was asking for like rewrites in the middle of shooting and stuff. This is why I'm never gonna get cast again. So I'm not easy to work with. But yeah, dude, like it was harder the better I knew you, and the more you taught me to nap. You gave me a very valuable thing there.
Okay, and also wait, just to like, I didn't just like nap in the middle of all sets. Like I don't just go to sleep. I was also filming another movie at the time that took place on night shoots. So I would be up all night and then I would come to set and then I would go back and do the other night shoot things. So I had approximately 2 hours of sleep like a day. So my naps were crucial during the filming.
2 films at the same time.
Yeah. But I was doing behind the scenes on the other one. It's a big movie camp that I always helped out with. So I was the AD on that. So we were up all night and then we would film it and then edit it because it's this camp and you have to film the movie and then have the final product done in a week. So it was film, edit, film, edit, film, edit.
Well, that was the amazing thing about you because like you would come in and before the camera started rolling, you would look like a Vietnam veteran. Like,
Thank you.
Like, you would be able to like you just see right through people. Like you were barely looking at anything. Like I saw this one time where like you got your morning. I don't think were you drinking coffee on set? You weren't.
No, I don't like coffee.
You don't like coffee. That's right. Nope. So like she would just like get her water, and just like act like there was a lot. It was just 1,000-yard fucking stare, man. It was crazy. And then
I was so tired.
And then the cameras would come on, you'd be a completely different person, So yeah, the naps were very useful.
Yeah. I like how we've spent this entire time just talking about napping, like not even talking about like, hey everybody, you should nap. It's really good for you.
It's the secret to become a great actor.
That's it. Yep. That is the secret.
I mean, we're joking, but I agree with that a little bit. Somewhere in there, because like you were able to bring a comfort to set too. That by doing the napping, you changed the vibe of the set where everybody got more relaxed and more, like people were allowed to be human. They weren't putting up a front anymore. The napping was a very, very smart, strategic.
You're welcome. I planned that whole thing.
I mean. In all seriousness, right? You often do hear a lot of actors talk about the set and it's being stressful and, trying to get in roles and all of this. So, being able to get those naps and to have that level of relaxation, do you think that's something that you would want to take forward? Like, was it that beneficial to you, do you think?
I mean, I think being relaxed on a set is always beneficial, whether it be by napping or hanging out at Crafty or whatever it is. Because then you're not going to be as nervous. It's like any job. If you're really nervous, you're probably not going to perform as well, especially with acting because it's all about your emotions and nerves. Will mess up your emotions. So yeah, I think it's important to get comfortable no matter what set you're on and whatever tools you use to do that. I think you should use them.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you've got to pretend that you're in your living room, even when there's a bunch of people around. So you might as well just act like you're already in your living room. Like it's no big deal.
and do you think that would work with all roles? Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're playing a crazy character, I mean, you kind of were. But do you think it like being relaxed is good for every type of role?
I
You know what I
do.
mean?
I do because then I think you're starting off at a neutral base and then you can pull whatever emotions you need. I feel like it would be really hard to play the Joker if you were having the best time of your life or a really crappy day. Like I feel like it's really hard to be this exuberant character and also have crap going on in your own life.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm learning that being an actor is really weird because you are working super duper hard to essentially have the same, like to have a regular job and treat it like a regular job, So like you're killing yourself and begging people for the opportunity to essentially just go into the office, and yeah, man, it's important to be comfortable with that. You're not going to do a good performance. Nerves don't get you anywhere. I've never even seen somebody who is nervous act nervous well. Because also, like, the audience needs to like watching us. If we're like really weirdly nervous, that's super uncomfortable for the audience. Like, they're not going to like you.
Yeah, they're
You're just going to
they're gonna notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think they're very good points. Like, was it the practice or did you guys do anything else to kind of bond and create that chemistry between you?
Well, I feel like we kind of got along pretty quickly right away. Like from the first table read, we were already kind of shooting the shit with each other, just like Ryan and Nick do. So I think we were lucky in that we were cast very well, and so we bonded really quickly. And then, like he said, we were practicing so much that even when we weren't practicing, like we went out for food a lot. We would just be hanging out, so we had plenty of time to like talk and get to know each other and bond. And so, I think that was helpful.
Yeah, it was really helpful. There was a familiarity. I mean, it was a little bit whiplashy for me, just because like I had to, I like Maitlyn a lot. Maitlyn's super duper cool, and then I have to be like, listen here, you dumb bitch. Like just like flip around on her, and act like I haven't seen her in 7 years, and like take her completely for granted. So, that was a little tough, but I think that also I wouldn't have been comfortable being as cruel or rude or whatever. He's acting out, so I wouldn't have been able to act out comfortably if we hadn't done all that stuff.
And like when you read the script and these characters, like what was your kind of first impression? Because it's a weird one because Rihanna, she really does, like, there's that twisted side, but then you can see that it seems that she's looking for that love, that acceptance. And so as you're watching it, you see her do something a bit fucked up, but then you see her do nice shit and you'll be like, you know what? Yeah, she's kind of, so there was that. And with Nick, it's just like you feel bad for him a bit, but then when he's acting a bit bratty, it's just a bit like, geez, dude, come on, man. Like, you're not gonna get anything like that. And then you've just got, as the revelations drop, you're just like, dude, like, she ain't worth it. Right? Obviously, that chick just was not good. Like, what are you doing, man?
Dude, I was down so bad. I don't know, man. I don't know. You're like, what a simp. I don't know, dude. I don't like, it's all fucked up. Sorry?
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, mine wasn't important. I was just agreeing with you.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry to have done this and made this weird little thing happen. My bad.
Yeah, he does stuff like that all the time. He just makes it awkward for no reason.
Anyways, let me take the reins from Maitlyn because she's fucking up the interview right now. No, like what was I saying?
That you were a simp.
Oh yeah, dude, I suck. Okay. Yeah, Nick really, I don't know, man. I needed to see it. So as an actor, I needed to convince myself. And that was a little bit tough because, like, I needed to go to a place where I had such a small amount of self-worth while simultaneously vacillating between having a delusional amount, like a god complex almost, a delusional amount of self-worth to treat the people who are nice to me in my life this way. Like, what a basket case. Jesus Christ, man, you gotta fucking no, man. Like it was tough, and it was a really complicated character, which I had a really good time with. I mean, maybe that's why I needed to learn how to nap because like he's just so high strung and he's just like creating problems for himself all the time, And I thought I was like that in my real life. But then I played the guy and I was like, yo, this is tiring. I don't know if I'm as much like this as I thought I was. So yeah. I don't know what the question was anymore.
Well, I think for Rianne, I think the big thing with any character is that you should never judge them because I feel like if the bad guy in a movie judged the character, then he wouldn't be a very believable bad guy because no bad guy thinks that they're the villain. Like I've just been watching a lot of Marvel movies, so I'm gonna make a Marvel reference right now. But Thanos like really believes that what he's doing is right, and he's willing to go to any extent and do anything he wants, or like any sacrifices he has to make. He's gonna make them because he really truly believes his point of view is the correct one. And so I think
that's what made Thanos so great.
Exactly.
Because he believed in it. And he made points where you're like, he ain't wrong.
I agree with Thanos. I agree with him. I like him on Thanos' side. I was rooting for Thanos the whole time. And you see him, he has to like kill the daughter that he loves.
And he did feel bad about that.
And yeah, you can tell it really bothers him, but he believes so heavily that this is the right thing to do that he's gonna do it. And so again, that's what I think it is with every actor. Like if I went into it and was like, yeah, Rianne's kind of twisted and messed up, then I don't think I could ever believably play Rianne in a way that she would do those things. I have to go and seeing Rianne's side because I have to be like, no, I get it. Like if I was in her situation, I can see why she would do this because of X, Y, and Z. Even if it's more exaggerated from me, I have to understand where she's coming from, or else you'll see that I'm judging her in the character or like in the performance.
Yeah, and you taught me that actually during rehearsals and on set. I think you said something similar to this to me because I was having some trouble there. And jokes aside, I think the reason that I make so many jokes about Nick is just because the guy has so many realistic things that I tried to leave behind in my past, like so many bad habits mentally, so many, that everybody just easily falls into it. All that happened was that his just got a little bit, his mental problems didn't get out of control, but the situation kind of got out of control a little bit. He does a lot of things that I know a lot of people in my life who I love hanging out with are doing right now, with the girl thing, it's so easy probably the reason why I like to make jokes about the guy is because I try to not believe that someone is the fantasy that you have of them in your mind versus like who they really are, you know, and ignoring red flags constantly and lashing out at the people who are trying to help you and trying to get you away from that fantasy. I mean, I guess that's, I probably see too much of myself in Nick, which is why I make fun of the guy, but really that's an effective character. He gets under my skin, and yeah, and Maitlyn taught me to not judge him as much and to try to I guess revert back to a lot of those things that aren't wrong. They're just things that might not be, might not have served me. They were serving him. Okay. Some
Yeah, I
things,
mean, I remember the first time I learned that I was on a Nickelodeon show and I was playing a character that was not the brightest character in the world. And I had said to one of my co-stars, and I was like, oh, my character is kind of stupid. And he was like, don't say that. Your character does not think they're stupid. Your character just is. And I was like, oh, yeah, huh? Like, there's nothing about my character in their brain that's like, oh, what I'm saying is unintelligent. What they're saying makes perfect sense to them. And I was like, oh, yeah. And that, like, totally changed my perspective on every character I had went into from there on. So whenever I hear people talk like how I did, I'm like, but no, it's just how they think.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, right? I think, if we look at ourselves, there's always elements of like these people, right? We're made up of all these different things, and it's just we've learned to overcome that aspect of ourselves, or we've just found those get out of jail cards. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know what I mean? You especially when you're younger, you make excuses for people and you be like, they didn't mean to do that and blah, 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 or there's that little, why is that person with that person? They should be with me. This is some bullshit. All right, I'm going to try and get them with me. Like, so we've all had those thoughts and done those things at some point. It's just, you learn to evolve and move, which is, it must be weird though sometimes to try and pull yourself back to a past you so you can inhabit a character. Like, how do you find yourself getting back to you? You know what I mean? So you don't go too deep in these things.
I think the first thing I want to say is that Maitlyn brought such an openness. Rianne's, I don't know if you can get this off of Rianne, but Maitlyn herself brought such a comfort and such a sort of the non-judgment to set, where I could go into that more, man, that like underbelly, that like soft underbelly that not everybody wants to go to, and not feel silly about it, doing it in front of other people. Even if we had new actors on set who like might have judged, I don't know. I was like, no, Maitlyn's got my back though. It's cool. And then so going back, regressing, one could say, into a different person. I mean, that's probably, I'm also kind of showing off that I use some shortcuts to get to a place. Nick's not me. I'm not Nick. So really, it's a completely different person. It's a completely different character. And there's kind of this weird interaction between sort of the character who exists up here somewhere, like not really within ourselves. Like they're a completely different person, and you can kind of key in or out, like they don't possess you, but you connect to sort of some kind of ethereal unconscious thing. And there's a percentage of it is that thing that Christian kind of created that lives on outside of him, this character who's not me, not him, but who's its own thing. And then, I try to grab onto that with whatever interfacing sort of similarities or whatever part of myself I can inject in there. But, at the end of the day, Nick's his own guy. And I was probably just using all that stuff to get there. But Nick's his own thing. And there were times when just, I mean, this happens, I know that actors, it sounds really cliche to say this, but you do lose yourself. Like you do kind of not black out, but almost black out. Like it's kind of like, I don't know, when you're doing a sport and you don't, you're not really thinking about yourself. The only thing that matters is like you're in the zone, like in the zone. You just get in the zone. I guess that's the shorthand for it. You know, that's my answer.
Mine's much quicker. I just go eat a snack, and that helps me.
Why are you gonna do me like that, bro? Why are you gonna do me like that? I'm like trying to be fucking...
Set up, punchline.
Oh man, Rhea, like, boom, in character and person, she's crushing you all the time.
I know, man. I know. It was terrible on set. Like this one time she complimented me and I just started crying. Because like
it would freak him out. Like, I would start complimenting him on purpose because it freaked him out. Yeah. I was like, you look really nice today. And he was like, stop it.
No, because what kind of trauma are you setting me up for? Like every fucking day on set was like I was like Carrie walking into that prom, bro. Like, it was just terrible.
Waiting for the pig's blood.
Yeah.
It's funny because he simultaneously said I brought so much comfort, and now he's like I was walking on eggshells. Make up your mind, bro. My favorite thing to do, there was this filter on Instagram where if you put it, like you videoed somebody, a big red X would like zoom in on their face and just X them out. And so I did that all the C notes, and I would do that every day, and I would just X out his face. And it was like this big like beat drop. It would be like, and it would just have an X over his face. Every time, and I would show it to him. I'd be like, "This is for you."
Dude, that filter is so immediately funny still to me. Yeah, like there was just something. It was like that was a Trump card. Like, what can I say to that?
Yeah, he would just be talking, and I would video him and show that, and I'd be like, "You're done." Immediately, no, immediately done.
The efficacy with which this girl is going around like destroying me is like too much. Like it's surgical. It's not good for me in the long term.
We had fun.
Oh
I had
my
fun.
Gosh. We had fun.
Hey, that's always a good thing, right? Because you sometimes hear about these sets and people didn't get on and it was just crazy. So it's nice to see that, things were good. And everyone worked together.
And I'll tell you what, like everybody on that set was really nice. Like the girl who played my girlfriend, so sweet. Like we hung out obviously all the time. We were dating. Like there was this one point where her and I had to hike up this mountain to go film. And so like we're like really hot, sweating, and we're like, good. Nobody prepared makeup wise for this. Like we're like trying to fan each other off. And like our mom is super sweet. Like I think she really saw us like as her kids. So she was like trying to protect us and like make sure everything was okay all the time. And then like my professor, obviously, like we spend a lot of time with him. He was really funny. We also like really jived off of each other because again, I was just kind of messing with him like I mess with everybody. So I think that made their dynamic good too.
No, and we were really lucky to have so many people on set that were awesome because since then, and I won't name any names, of course, but I've felt the other side of it, of being with somebody. And it's like, when you have to act and go that deep, man, I was like a dog barking. Like, I just like couldn't go there with somebody and like, they would like do any little thing and it would just like set me the fuck off, bro. Like dude, like, so, we were so lucky that we didn't have anybody like that on set, It was just, Christian really outdid himself. That's it.
Yeah, with the casting.
Yeah.
Really good job.
Nice.
No,
nice.
But really, like, yeah, the crew, the cast, everybody was just awesome. Like, everyone was so nice.
And, like, how long were your days, like, doing this?
I think it depends. It would depend.
They weren't that long, were they?
No, they weren't too bad.
Yeah, no.
You know what really held us back, though? Every time I forgot to put in my freaking nose ring, and then we had to do the scene all over again. Because I did that all the time. Because I had a fake nose ring, and I would forget to put it in. We'd do like 4 scenes, and I'd be like, oh, guys, I forgot. And so we had to redo all of them.
Oh, man. And the other thing that we're not really mentioning, because you had to hike up there, and you just reminded me, weren't we doing this at like end of July, beginning of August?
So hot.
God,
We were
So hot.
all in an apartment. I don't even know if it had AC.
With no AC. Nope. And also, even if it did, we couldn't have had it on for sound.
Yeah.
So we were like,
No, like that's why I just look just so sweaty.
yeah, I do too. And I'm like in these hoodies, and I'm like freaking black, just like pants, hoodies, like, oh, and I had like a head of hair.
Dude, I don't know. I always had long sleeves on everywhere I was going. It was.
Which again, another way the cast or the crew was so nice. They were constantly giving us like frozen water bottles. They were like fanning us with props and things to like try and keep us, like they would give us their last water. And I was like, please don't do that. Please drink some for yourself. And they were like, no, it's okay. So, I mean, they were just so trying to accommodate us. Actors are treated like royalty, like genuinely. Like if you want to know what it's like to be a king, act.
100%. I mean, I've just recently been on the other side, and like, you know, I've just since acting in this movie, I've just found myself like on the dirt with bugs on me, and no one asked me how I was doing. And I was just doing no one was even looking at me. I was holding the camera, doing my job, and I was just covered in like a centipede on me. I was like, nobody cared.
But like, yeah, no, like you see a bead of sweat on an actor and you're like, do you need to take a break? Do you need to go in the shade? Do you want some water? Take a seat. Like, can I get you anything? Here's some food. And you're like, I'm okay, thank you.
No, dude, it's awesome being an actor. It's awesome. Yeah. All you gotta do is know words that other people wrote for you. Dude.
I mean, it sounds good.
Figure it out.
Like, yeah, that shit sounds good. I feel like I'm in the wrong profession.
Yeah, you should try it, for real.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a law in the SAG contract that they have to have a chair for you. They have to. Like the whole set can get shut down if they don't have a chair. If it's a SAG production.
Damn.
But, yeah. Royalty, I'm telling you. Like, you could be in the middle of the Sahara Desert and they don't have a seat for you, then no go.
Yeah, you can go home and still get paid your entire wage.
Yep. Yeah, we could technically walk off.
And she still gets all the back pay that she would have gotten, everything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Damn.
And you also can't get mad at an actor because, you know, actors' emotions are precious. And so if you mess up their emotions, like you can't, like if somebody were to yell at an actor and you like make them upset, they're not going to act well because they're upset.
True.
Well, actually, there was one take where, you know, because I'm playing a really neurotic guy. And so I was just like, there's something about Nick where like, I don't bite my nails or anything. There's something about him where like he bites his nails and I just started going to town on them. And so in the scene while I was thinking, I had a lot of thinking scenes. So in the scene while I was thinking, I just like ripped a chunk of my nail off. And behind the camera, Christian just goes, oh, that's fucking disgusting, dude. It's like, and like it's within his right, like he's zoomed up on me, like I wasn't thinking, you know. It's within his right to say that. He had to see the skin detach. Like, I'm sorry, Christian, when you're watching this, I apologize for that. You know, you were right, but you know, like, it's the audience. I don't think they wanted to see that either. But like, that was the one time. Where I got
but see, I'm telling you, it's like you make an actor upset, then they're like,
you make an actor upset, and then in an interview a year and a half later.
They tell you about
it. And you look like the bad guy. Sorry, Christian. You're not the bad guy. I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, we love you, Christian.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to audition for one of your next films, Arthur. You know what I mean? I need to get in on this acting lot because it sounds pretty great.
It is.
You do, man. It's fantastic.
And not just because of the, you know, perks. Acting is also just so fun. Like, it's so fun. You get to be anybody you want. And that's great. Like, you get to change who you are for a little bit of time, which is fun.
It's amazing that that's a real job that you get paid for. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're playing pretend. You really are playing pretend as a profession. It's crazy.
No, like really. Sometimes I'll be behind camera. I'll just be like, so fucking stupid. Just doesn't. Let's just think, why the fuck am I on this side of it right now? Like, so, yeah.
Like, here's the thing then. when you decided, you know, I thought, hey, I'd like to get into acting. This is something I'd like to do. Was your perception of it, like, how has that changed? You know what I mean, coming into it and doing it now for all these years, is it a lot different? Were there things that you were, I didn't even realize it would be like that?
It's hard. It's really hard to get a job.
Yeah.
It's acting is super duper fun. The process to be an actor, like you act for maybe 3% of your career, and then the rest, 97%, is auditioning
Tutoring
and
for
getting
these?
rejected, and you know, preparing and acting classes and headshots and like all this other stuff. So and there's so much competition. Like you could be the best actor in the entire world and never see the light of day just because you didn't get lucky.
Yeah. No, it's acting itself is exactly how I expect you also imagined it. You know, when you actually do it, getting the job, dude, it's so hard that by the time you actually get the job, you might have lost your enthusiasm. You know, and then you have to dig it out. You have to like convince yourself. You have to like remember a memory from when you were 5. You had an imaginary idea about acting. You could graft that onto your perception of fun, dude. It's I think in the UK it might be a little bit not easier. It's probably not easier. I'm not actually gonna talk shit. I don't know. LA is hard. UK is probably hard. Everywhere's probably hard.
I mean, I don't know, because when I thought about it, I was told, I mean, you don't really fit many roles. I mean, like a director was just like, I can't really use you in my video because, yeah, you look too weird. And I was like,
Yeah, but
oh,
don't let
okay.
my very first audition was "You're not very good, go home." I was
Oh
10,
shit.
and they straight up were like, "Yeah, no, you're not good. Thanks for coming." And I was like, "Cool, thank you." But that's the thing. There are just some people that, and sure, there are roles that you won't be able to fit. Like you're not going to play a 12-year-old valley girl, but like there are plenty of roles.
I feel I could pull that off.
Yeah, you know what?
So
You're probably
don't
right.
judge me.
Yeah,
All right.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
called acting for a reason. Okay?
Yeah.
Why don't you audition right
Yeah.
now then, Kevin? Let's hear it. 12-year-old valley girl. I'm ready.
Right. Hello, I'm here to do my sonata. Shall I pirouette for you?
You're right.
No,
You're
no,
right.
Bro,
You're good.
Dean!
Ali, she was talking about LA, but okay.
That was perfect. You're hired. Oh,
No, I mean, Kevin, that was then. This is now. Like, I'm sure that there's a huge amount. I was actually thinking the same thing as Maitlyn probably was like, Kevin, if you want to do, just
yeah, no,
do
you're
it.
like,
It's gonna
you're
work.
funny, you're British, you got a unique look.
And
like, there's plenty of.
oh no, wait, hold on. I signed up for the English because I was thinking about moving to the UK for a little while, so I signed up for the equivalent to our casting website over there. You guys are babied over there. You guys are so well taken care of. You're telling me that the government is paying for this website, making it essentially free, and then giving you guys the best advice I've ever received about breaking into the industry in my freaking life on a website.
Like, really?
The British casting website is one of the most useful things I've ever encountered. Like, because over here we have to pay. Like, this is America, baby. So we're paying. We're paying monthly for the right to get fucking no's constantly. And then on top of it, we get like advice from these weird cult leader sort of figures who are not actually professional. They don't really help actors at all. They just like tell them whatever the hell course they're going to sell them this time. But the one that you have over there, I mean, really, they give you all the resources and all the advice that you need just on that website for free. I need to find the name of it for it. I think it's called Spotlight. I think it's called Spotlight UK. Spotlight is amazing.
Boom. All right, I'm gonna have to do some research after this. So
Yeah, you call us in your next on your next big movie. We'll interview you next time. Arthur, you're frozen.
Oh yeah, he is, isn't it? Huh. It did sound like his internet was going a little bit
Yeah, it's like really crackly.
crazy. Ah,
Yeah,
you're
way to
back.
fuck it up, Arthur. Yep, see you.
Oh,
Goodbye.
yeah.
Oh, see, good. We didn't want him anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Nick is a bit wet, so it's not surprising he's gone off to sulk.
Yeah.
Now, right, so as it's so hard getting roles, right? When do you like once you've landed something, when does the process start to look for that next one? Like, are you looking for the next role while doing the current one, or do you literally have to wait until that's done and then start?
Well, it depends on the project. So a lot of the time you can be filming something and then auditioning for a bunch of other things, but if like say you're locked into a movie or you're locked into a series for a certain amount of time, you either A, really just can't do anything else, or B, it's your first priority. So it's like, yeah, you can go audition for other things, but if you were to get something else and it were to interfere with our show, you have to stay committed to our show because that's in your contract.
Uh-huh.
I just want to ask if everybody heard my Spotlight UK pitch real quick.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No, that
Yeah.
that came.
That's useful for people if you're listening, guys. Even if you're American, go to Spotlight. It's really good. But yeah, no. I think also aren't there clauses for like non-compete agreements where if the show is too similar, or if you're going into the same genre or something, then some contracts, some networks will actually tell you no, even for that.
Oh.
Or even like sometimes you can't, like say you're on a ABC show, like I don't think you can go on to another ABC show. Because like sometimes things like that will cross over and then you can't be one person in one world and another in another, and then you're like
that I get, because it was kind of weird at first seeing Chris Evans as Captain America when he'd already played Johnny Storm a few years back.
Yeah.
And it's just lucky that the Fantastic Four film sucked, that you could be like, oh, fine, he's in a good role. Okay, he's Captain America. Let's go with that.
Yeah. No, it definitely it gives the audience a bit of whiplash when you put them in too many. And then, and then it's also hard because it's like if you get cast in a role like Captain America or Harry Potter or Dexter, like it's really hard to then be somebody else because they're like, oh, right, that's Captain America. Or that's Dexter. I also really like Dexter. It just came out again.
Oh, is the new season out?
Yeah, it's new season out.
Because I think I'm on the 4th season at the moment. Because I didn't finish it because it was so, I liked Dexter, but it was so dark. I'd watch an episode and be like, whew, right, I'm gonna have to watch season 1 of the Care Bears to try and lighten my shit up right now.
I just want to know how all of the precinct people didn't realize that every bad guy that they were hunting wound up dead. You don't think they'd make the connection eventually that every case that Dexter was on, the bad dude was dead?
There is that.
Every single time.
Yeah.
This is kind of one of the reasons why I never went into Dexter, but I also was spoiled at the time. Like, I think I was watching Breaking Bad at the time, so I was trying to be an elitist about it, but in a post, did that just crack?
Yeah, that was my neck.
Nice, dude. But no, in like a post Game of Thrones world, if a TV show is consistently good and fun, like I am open to it now. Like I thought I was better than Dexter. Nah, dude, Dexter's better than me.
Do you like Game of Thrones? You said Game of Thrones, and that's all I can think about right now. Do you like it?
I mean, I loved Game of Thrones. You
don't like the 8th season?
When I dropped off was actually the 5th season. I can actually defend my point. Great, yeah. I know.
Do you like Game of Thrones, Kevin?
Man, I love Game of Thrones. Like
Oh,
the
So
thing
good.
with Game of Thrones was it upped that production level. Like you kind of looked at and you know, it's one of those things where a lot of actors, yeah, they looked at TV as like, ugh, I mean, I'm taking a step down to do this shit. But then you had shows like Game of Thrones that just made it so cinematic. And the scope was so crazy. And every episode you didn't know what the fuck was. I mean, it's just like my man is climbing, you know what I mean? Parkour up the building. Hey, what do I spy? Wait, they're siblings, right? Then he gets pushed out. And we're kind of like, yeah, kind of had it coming. You know what I mean? We're like you're in that world now. You're just like, yeah, I'd have stabbed them too. I see their point of view. You know what I mean? It was like crazy.
That's what's so good about Game of Thrones is that they make you love the characters that you hate. So not only do you love to hate them, but you also just love them. Like
Yeah.
Jamie near the end, like you're rooting for him, and he's a pretty crappy dude. And like even Cersei, you feel bad for her. Man, I could talk about Game of Thrones all day. I love Game of Thrones. Next time,
Okay.
whole interview, Game of Thrones.
Y'all are talking
Okay.
about my ex right now, so of course I'll talk about Game of Thrones as much as you want. I read all the books and I read all the supplementary material, and I read his sci-fi novels from before, and I think that they're connected, and that Game of Thrones is actually in the future. Like I'm in it, dude, but like the show just drops off at a certain point, and those first 4 seasons are great, and I'm not going to be a nerd about it.
It's okay. You're entitled to your incorrect opinion. No, it's fine.
Sorry,
You're allowed to be wrong. I said you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna argue because I'm
everyone.
correct.
I am. You know what? I am. So listen, guys. Look, when fucking Littlefinger, okay.
See how easy it is to get him to like do what you want.
Bro, don't even. I don't care. Okay, I have 10 minutes in this interview, and I'm gonna fucking just go off. So when Littlefinger is there, like 5th season, he just like basically, what did he do? He got rid of Lysa Arryn. He has Sansa. He can have sex with her now. I don't know what he's trying to do with her. You know,
well,
he
he's
has
in love with her.
the heir to the Vale. And then season 5 shows up, and of course they run out of book. So then they're like, oh, you know what Littlefinger's plan? His 25-year plan is? Give the kids away. I'm not even going to do research on this guy.
No, wrong. No, it's because he wants more power, and he feels the way to do that is by trading her off. He has everything he thought he wanted, and then it's not enough, and he's still power hungry, and that's why he ends up and messes it all up.
We can say that he gave in to one of those mistakes, but I feel like the guy doesn't make a lot of mistakes until that point. You know?
Yeah, because he's getting greedy and power hungry, and he's in love with Sansa, so his judgment is clouded.
I hear you.
Yeah, so I'm right.
I'm not gonna call what you're saying as Stockholm syndrome, and then you wanted to.
Yeah, what, you think Littlefinger has Stockholm syndrome?
Sorry?
Who do you think has Stockholm syndrome? Littlefinger?
No, you.
Me?
You.
Why?
You love you're abused by the show, and you felt trapped by the show, and you're just making excuses for the show.
No, first of all, I only watched the show. I was not a cult follower. I watched it in quarantine for the first time, just binged it.
You see, I think that maybe that's a more healthy thing to do.
So that's the thing. Like, I don't have the emotional attachment that I think a lot of people do, and that's why I like it more. That is the one thing I will give you.
You went in way more level-headed and way less hyped. Because, you know, I mean, really, man, I think I've read, like, I'm no lie, like 8,000 pages.
Yeah, and I haven't read any of the books either. Like,
I don't know what did I get out of that?
I don't know. Well, I definitely got the satisfaction of making you fight me. Anyway, do you want to talk about All Who Loved Her? That's a really good movie.
Yeah. I think that this is roundabout drumming up excitement for it. Talking about game. But yeah, let's talk about it.
I have heard people say that the intrigue in All Who Loved Her is like very similar to Game of Thrones. So I can see that transition right there. You know what I mean?
See? All Who Loved Her, Game of Thrones, same.
Yeah.
When you read that script, right, and the end of the film, what did you think? Like, how did that sit with you?
I loved it. I love a dark ending. So I was kind of pleased that it wasn't wrapped up in a tight little bow. I mean, I guess it kind of was, but also kind of not. Like, you're kind of without.
Yeah, there's no
saying.
definitive, like, did or not. Like, I feel there's that ambiguity in it.
Absolutely. I mean, y'all looking at me like, you know, I think I was so attached to my character that I was not ready for some of the ways that this script, like some of the directions this script went into, I was not ready for it at all. You know, and it surprised me. And I was up here, I was down here, I was up here, I was down here. Like, it was so many twists and turns for me. And since I was just like so Nick going in, I was so excited. You know, I was shocked. I was just shocked. That was my first reading. My first reading was just being shocked. And then spending the last 10, 15 pages just with my mouth like a little open, just like rereading to see if I misread that. And yeah, you know, that was me.
Because I thought the interesting thing
You,
would be... Oh, sorry.
Oh, maybe.
What? No.
Are you
sorry. No, I was just gonna say, are you happy with how your character's story ended?
Yeah, no, but the shock, I mean, the twists and turns, I did not see them coming at all, you know?
That's good. Good on you.
That is a good thing.
Listening.
I mean, I, as Nick, you know, it's a very good thing. I didn't see, is normally when I'm reading a script, I know where this shit's gonna go from the first page most of the time. Like, it's so obvious. And this thing completely threw me for a loop.
Yeah,
you know?
man, when I was auditioning for it, I was playing her very different because I didn't know a lot of what Rianne is.
Yeah.
And then I read the script and I was like, cool, good. Didn't know that.
I was actually surprised that I was even cast, given how wrong I was about how things were going. Like, you know, internally with my
But I bet you everybody was. So
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of take that off the table. I don't think anybody was like, I know what will happen.
True. No, man, I did not see it coming.
Like, it kind of sets itself up in one way, but then goes in some real crazy directions. You kind of feel from the beginning, and especially with that open with, you know what I mean, Rianne being like, Professor Rossi says if you walk into a room, you can smash your wife's head into a table. And I'm just like, what? Like, what the fuck is this film? What's AJ sent me? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. No, it's true. It like really kind of commands your attention right at the beginning. It's like, oh, whatever you think is going on, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You won't be able to guess it.
Yeah.
And how have you felt the reception to the film?
Really good. I've been really pleased with the reception, you know, especially, like I said, like, you know, I'm never really in front of the camera very much. So to receive messages of people being like, that didn't suck, and that was actually really good, that I actually did a good job. Like, I was on cloud 9, man.
Yeah, my family keeps texting me. They're like, I saw it. I loved it. So good. I'm like, thanks, guys. But no, like overall, people have seemed to really like it. And honestly, what I really like is when they like come up to me and they're usually angry at my character. I'm like, good. Like when they want to fight with me about something, then I know I've done something right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that Rianne was the female Ramsay Bolton in a way.
You know what's really bad? I shouldn't. I know it's really horrible. Like I should not like Ramsay. He's a horrible human being. He's done some unspeakable things, but man, I like the guy.
And Sansa was annoying. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Sansa
was annoying at the beginning. I like her at the end. But at the beginning, she's just like, I want to marry Joffrey. Yay, Arya. I love Joffrey. I'm like, girl, shut up.
Oh my gosh. Yes. All
No,
right.
I have to agree. Like, Ramsey, I really have to respect somebody who does what just what they want in life, And I think that's sort of the cool thing about Rianne too is you gotta watch the movie, guys.
Indeed.
Ditto.
Indeed. People, go check it out. It is definitely a nail biter. You won't expect what the fuck happens. And
don't worry, you
I'm
won't be
triggered by you
filmed
calling it a
if-
nail
yeah.
biter. I'm having
Callback.
flashbacks, bro.
Boom. And you will like both characters. Throughout the film, there's points where you will definitely like the characters. You'll definitely be frustrated with the characters. Sometimes you'll be like, maybe that's a little bit too far. But you know what I mean? You'll be in it all the way through. But before we bust, do you guys have you got anything on the bubble next?
Right now, biology. I'm just really focusing on DNA sequences. But you never know. That the acting industry is crazy. There's a lot of ups and downs. You can hear nothing and know nothing, and then all of a sudden, you're a star in 40 movies. So you just got to keep waiting. It's the ultimate waiting game.
I got tired of waiting. Made another movie. Sorry. Sorry. It's too much. Remy Arletta, you know about it, and I'm in it for a second, but I mostly just directed this one, and I'm excited about it. I mean, everybody will know about it like next year.
Okay, so that's when it's gonna drop.
Yeah, going through the festivals, and we'll see what comes of it. I
Right.
think this one's a lot more palatable to festivals than Clairvoyant. Clairvoyant was made to look like a bad movie in the first 5 minutes, and a lot of people turned it off in the first 5 minutes.
But that's so
that was
cool.
intentional, guys. We knew what we were doing. Damn it. I wish I just put "this is a parody" at the beginning. That would have like ruined the movie. But yeah. So another movie coming out, and maybe a couple more things. We'll see. Not sure yet. Maybe.
All right. That sounds all great. And how can people keep track of, what you guys are doing?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's just my name, which is Maitlyn Pezzo, which is hard. MAITLYNPEZZO. It's like Caitlyn with an M. That's what I tell people.
Same, but not Maitlyn Pezzo.
Yeah, follow him on @Maitlyn Pezzo. So follow me twice. Thank you very much.
Artur De Larroche, ARTHURDEL. Come on, guys. Just look at the links.
He doesn't even know how to spell his name.
I know how to.
I know, he was so smooth.
Remember
He
that.
was so smooth. He forgot how to spell his name, and then he just passed it off.
Yeah,
nice
because
one, Arthur.
He doesn't know how to spell his name. Everybody, that's what we've learned from that.
It's my name, Artur De Larroche. It's my name. I'm sure if you misspell it, it'll come up.
Which is spelled what? How's it spelled, Arthur?
ARTHURDELARROCHE.
He did it, everybody. Woohoo!
Maitlyn, you always push me to be better than I am. God damn it.
So I feel that's it for this episode of Sesame Street. Hey guys, I really appreciate you both stopping by, and I hope when new projects are popping, you come back and we can talk about those. Maybe when House of Dragon drops, we'll have to do another little something. We can go into that.
So ready.
Bro, I feel like I'm just an abused housewife going back, but I'll do it for y'all. I'll do it. I'll go back. Just to justify all those years. I'll do it.
And who knows? Maybe the next books will be out somewhere next year.
Maybe. You know, anything can happen.
Indeed. Oh man, it's been a joy. Thank you very much.
It's awesome
People.
coming on here with you, dude.
Yeah,
Thank you
Kevin, you're
so
great.
much.
So funny.
Thank you. But yeah, people, follow Maitlyn, follow Arthur. The links are gonna be in the episode as always, and go watch the goddamn film and see what happens with these friggin' siblings because they be crazy. All right, boom. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, dude.